I think that's very interesting. Do you think reason why you did well in history is because you can use your imagination, you can use your personality? Definitely. Because I found I was good at history as well. I wasn't really that good at most other subjects besides maths and a few others. But I mean, history. Reason why I like history because I can use my imagination. I like to be creative. I like to think. I like to think about stuff. If you're just talking to me about like accounting or something, I'm just gonna zone out.
Can't do it. Yeah, same here. That's it. It's like we've got an interest-driven nervous system, so that's why journalism's great because I'm interested in the people I talk to. But if there's a palpable difference between the features that I produce about people who I've spoken to and care about, and something dry like a council meeting that I don't give a fuck about.
Right.
And if it's a subject I'm not interested in, then the article comes out shit. But if there's and this is what my editors said, but if it was a profile or it was about animals or it was about people or it was about something like that, then I'm on it. I am going to give them a Pulitzer Prize winning piece. It's like 1,200 words when they've asked for 400.
So for people who don't know, who might think they have ADHD, because you've self-diagnosed, you've been clinically diagnosed, what are the symptoms?
Shit.
So you've got like, there's kind of two parts of it. It's like the inattentiveness group and you've got the hyperactivity group. And within those things...
And there's the emotional element as well.
Yeah. And it kind of goes across. So hyperactivity, which is a lot more what I have, it's like having like a lot of energy, massive mood swings, being really impatient, really impulsive, like acting without thinking, which is what they say, it's acting without thinking, but you do actually think you think. Yeah. But it's just like, to other people, like, because you're so methodical in setting up all this equipment, it was amazing to me. I'd just be like, oh, for fuck's sake, like I can't do this. I'd give up. So it's kind of like that sort of frustration element. Then the inattentiveness element is like, it's like the fidgeting, can't focus if we're in a meeting, I've zoned out already. Like Les might have zoned out me talking just now.
I'm listening to you.
Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like
some of the stuff you said to interrupt you. Some of the stuff you've mentioned there makes me think, do I have ADHD? Because I zone out when people talk all the time, and my wife is in the background over there. And apparently she has a lot of conversations with me that I don't remember. Apparently.
I think that's just been a blur.
She's pulling a fast on one of those two.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh honey, don't you remember that my parents are coming over next weekend? I haven't told him. I think that's another thing though, because I had this whole huge issue getting over my ex-girlfriend, and my brother the other day, he just turned to me and goes, yeah, I still sometimes think about my ex, probably every day as well, because we broke up with our ex-girlfriends at the same time. I'm not trying to dob him in. I hope his new girlfriend doesn't listen because he does love her to pieces. He really does, and we all do. She's part of the family. Anyway, but he was saying like, no, that's normal. And when you've been diagnosed or you think about all the ADHD stuff, there's a lot of things that are normal behaviours, but we kind of seem to get, or at least we allegedly get them a lot more than normal people. So we're kind of like a bit extra. Or like everyone always says, oh yeah, you're so intense. And that's an exhausting sentence. That really hurts sometimes.
I think also in that kind of like, you know, like the Britishness sense of like stiff upper lip, very reserved, all this stuff. I've always hated it because I'm very outgoing. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm just very like bullish and I'll do something. I'm very blunt, and that goes completely again.
And they think you're a child. They treat you like a
child.
100%.
Sometimes. At my work, I was actually told very early on that basically I was making too many jokes. I need to be a bit more professional. This stuff. Like, I'm literally just being me. Like I'm doing perfect work.
Yeah, I got pulled over for that at my first job as well.
Willow, we forgot to ask, what do you do?
Oh, so I'm in like operations for a social research agency. So I do like HR, finance, ops, bit of like new bid writing, bit of everything.
We have a note.
Producer. Come hither.
Come to us.
My wife doesn't want to be on camera. But
oh my God, you got really long arms. What we got here?
What we got?
American culture ADHD, you sexy bitch. Okay, right, let's do this.
Hey.
Okay, sorry. Love you. I love you more than he does. Anyway, okay, so that was a note there. That's a distraction, and now we're probably going to end up talking about it. Right, what were you saying?
I was talking about basically it's just like you get judged on your personality in the workplace, but there's not enough awareness about like it's my personality, it's me being ADHD. Like you can't just tell me that because that's actually like
it's like why don't you just go and tell the disabled guy to stand up and walk over here? You know, I mean, like you'd be mortified. Or if you told a black person, oh yeah, it's not your culture or something like that, when they're like, I'm from Lewisham. You know, it's like, just fucking tell me about culture,
so do you, bitch. Like, with your personality, that obviously it's a strong personality for both of you, do you ever feel that you need to water it down? Because I think that's
we're told to. That's the worst bit. We're told to water it down. Because it's like you were saying, like, you know, like if you're in a professional environment, why would you have a personality of your own? Yeah. But then they always want creative, out-of-the-box thinkers. They're full of shit. Yeah. Like the whole work culture, and this is the whole corporate.
But I think
it's a load of bollocks.
Yeah, but I think that's the whole issue why we like you've had issues in school and all that. I think the whole education structure is to create subordinates. So when you go into the workplace and you're meant to fit in this box, you're meant to do this, and you're meant to be almost like
provide function.
Like a robot. And like if you don't have that personality to just conform to what you're told or what's meant to be normal, you're not gonna like fit in well. That's why I think people like you are better off in doing creative jobs where you can just
but don't pay
somebody pay. That's not true though. Like there's loads of famous people that are able to be creative.
You got a note.
Yeah.
Would you like me to read the list for you? You have Johnny Depp, Justin Timberlake, Jim Carrey, David Blaine, Jamie Oliver, Paris Hilton. This is the irony. So
those are a list of celebrities that currently been diagnosed with ADHD.
Yeah.
Do you want to read through that list again for anybody that
Johnny Depp, Justin Timberlake, Jim Carrey, David Blaine, Jamie Oliver, Paris Hilton. Thing is that this is the irony of the whole, because this is what I've always found difficult, is that when I'm in an office environment, I'm told I'm the funny guy, I bring a load of life to the office. And it's like, and I've been into these really dead environments in which I've been in which the head office came in to encourage us to be more lively and chatty and have a chat. And I'm like, I'm pulling my fucking weight, but it's not my fault. Every time I make a phone call, the place echoes around me with 10 people in it. Like, it's retarded. And yet I was the arsehole. It exhausts me.
That's why I don't actually like the workplace. They try to make you get comfortable and want to socialize, but there's always a boundary.
Yeah, and they
if
never
I was
tell you
actually
where
my
it is.
true self, I get fired or get called in. So
that's what happens to us.
I find it all fake and everything, and that's why I don't give my true self
when
I'm at work.
It's
I know I'm gonna get into trouble, so
Yeah.
I can't say what I want to say. I can't do what I want to do. So I find the whole structure of it complete bullshit, and that's why I don't go to social stuff because.
Yeah. What's the point? You're not being you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's exhausting. It's like, why on earth are we so accustomed to wearing masks over our true selves? It kills me. Because it's like, oh yeah, but you're being professional. No, you're not. You're putting on a pantomime act of something when it's not what you think. It's not who you are. And you get those really well... And the worst bit is the most successful people, career-wise, are the ones who perfected that mask. There's this guy called Angus who dated my friend, and he went to a private school, and when I spoke to him socially, he handled me. He didn't speak to me. He never really understood who this person in front of him was. He just sits there and goes, yes, let's. Ha ha, corker. I don't know a thing about the guy. I don't have a thing to say about the guy. He's the dullest piece of shit. Well, he's not even a piece of shit. He's actually a very nice bloke, but that's all I know about him. He's a nice enough fella, because that's the impression he's given me. But that's an on-purpose veneer mask. He does drugs on the weekend like everybody else. Yeah. Like, why would you need...
And why do we need to put up for this facade? It's because you don't trust people. That's the problem. And you can't. Because you can't trust them, because then they turn around and tell you you're unprofessional. And you need to pipe
and
down,
then you're stabbed in the back from people you actually have thought you were having a relationship with, and they stab you. I had the same thing at the Sun. Like, I had the audacity to actually make friends with people, or try to, and stab. And I was warned I would be stabbed. That was the weird
That's
bit.
mental that... people even said that. That's an awful working environment.
Watch her, she's a snake. And she was perfectly nice to me and then made a complaint about me formally. And that's the fuck.
Sorry to interrupt you there as well. I remember when my first job at a university, I worked for this college. And I remember, when I'm new in an environment, I'm a very quiet person. People always say I'm quiet. So I always sit in the background. It's interesting what you notice when you're that quiet. People don't realise that you're there. Now, I see these people that they're hanging around with each other all friendly. But then... somebody walks out of the room and they're just talking shit about that person, and I'm just like, I thought you guys were friends and all that. I thought you guys were cool, but turns out you're just snakes and you're just saying all sorts of shit about each other.
I think that's quite...
I found that really... I'm like, wow.
It's disgusting, isn't it? But that's what I really wonder whether...
That's British office culture.
But is it like every office culture? I don't know. Is there... Because you know how like there's so many companies out there like Facebook, it's like we're a massive family. Like I really want to know whether that's actually true. Like is anywhere genuinely...
No.
I don't think
unless
it's possible.
It's a family business, in which case they're going to fight like cats openly. This is the most YouTube thing we're ever going to do.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed our video. Please do like and subscribe.